I know some.
Yep. That was, what is it, Purple Haze from Samurai Guitars. Just kind of found that randomly because the last time I tried using Jimi Hendrix, everything blew up. Anyway, so after a few issues, YouTube suddenly deciding I don't want to stream. But okay, we are gonna try this again.
Oh.
This is attempt number 2 with Prequel and Samuel here.
Hello.
And Prequel somewhere. He is possibly the voice.
I'm
Aussie. He's probably the Aussie voice in my head. Help.
Yeah, I've always just been that
What am
voice
I?
in your head what tells you to do stupid shit.
A furry.
Well, fuck off to you too.
Anyway, so we're here, gonna
Not wrong.
hopefully without any issues, because barring any issues and no weird fucking drops and disconnects, but we're gonna be a little bit more careful. We're gonna be looking at patch 1.91 Night Vision, which along with Night Vision, obviously we have a lot more than that, including a brand new shiny red flagged nation on the taskbar. And no one cares about Germany at this point. So China is here.
Actually, Germany's getting a pretty good jet off the bat.
Yeah, they are, but we'll get to that, sir. We'll get to that. So, anybody who was here a little bit earlier, we are going to do the same order as we did last time, which is we're going to start with the smallest amount of things and go to the most of amount of things. But I will say, forewarning, we're going to kind of glide through the Chinese tree and only look at really the more unique vehicles that the Chinese tech tree has. So we're not going to waste too much time on China, but it is an interesting tech tree. Anyway, so we're going to start again with the big boots. That is ships, because ships got some serious love this patch in the form of starting with the USS Atlanta. Rest in peace is the one in World Warships. Apparently was nerfed into the ground, but now it gets to live again in War Thunder. Yes, that is a lot of guns. Yes, those are many twin turrets. It has 8 127mm dual-purpose guns and twin turrets all over the damn thing, and it's only AA. True AA is in the form of 2 Chicago pianos. That's it. And I think possibly torpedoes, but I guess that's a module upgrade that you have to load on. Yep, apparently I didn't have to purchase those. Thanks, Gaijube. Okay, now, yes, there are torpedoes on board. So, big old torpedoes. So, it is a light cruiser with a lot of guns. Modifications-wise, it comes with HE shells and AP shells. So, with a good enough penetration at a point-blank range that it's going to hurt at point-blank range. With the amount of guns on board, that broadside, sure, it's not the biggest guns in the world, but, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guns broadside at point blank range, and maybe you run into 2 of these guys. Even our next ship that we're going to look at is probably going to have issues seeing it. Of course, I don't know if the chat's updating on my end. For some godforsaken reason, it's not updating. I'll just have to pull up like actual YouTube live dashboard or something to check my shit here, because most of you guys are chatting in on YouTube and also monitoring my own stream, I guess. Anyway, moving that, if I can, there we go. So Atlanta is a big ship. It is a light cruiser though, so the only real armor it has is about 88mm around the middle of the ship. I didn't show that off last time. Anti-frag armor around the center of the ship and the point of the bridge, armor around the turrets, but of course in ship-to-ship combat against heavy cruisers, that's not going to help. I'm going to play it carefully, and we're not going to do some Anzel lookarounds, because I think that overloaded OBS, and it caused OBS to crash 3 different times on the previous stream. So we're unfortunately not going to do that. But it is a huge model. Oh, it even says Atlanta on the back too. Like, again, I think from what Gaijin says, it takes the amount of time it takes to make one ship, they could make multiple aircraft for the time it takes to make one of these, and it's clearly obvious why. because the amount of detail that they put in these things. Anyway, for a more bigger ship, because more bigger is better, we go straight for the Admiral Hipper class from Germany, which is also arguably one of the best looking ships in game now, probably other than the Furutaka. I still think the Furutaka looks nice. Anyway, Admiral Hipper is a 5.7 with 203 millimeter cannons and 4 twin turrets.
Twitch.
Yep, so there's twin turrets on each, well, twin 203 millimeter turrets, 4 of them on board, but also its more interesting aspect is the fact that it has basically turtleback armor. So he has,
And
there's a twin, and torpedoes, of course, torpedoes. So you have a 20 millimeter plate right here, an 80 millimeter plate, a 50 millimeter plate, and more armor. So essentially, good luck getting through my torpedo bulge, says the Admiral Hipper. But be it that it has great cannons, you know, mind you, they're great guns. Plus, it also has 105s, 37s, and 20 millimeters everywhere. Yes, that is a whirlwind installation on the top of the, I think both of the turrets closest to the bridge and rear. I need to learn my ship terms, so sorry, naval people.
Bow and stern.
Yeah, bow and stern. Anyway, so big old boat, but again, we have the Atlanta, which can penetrate well over 100 plus millimeters of armor at point blank range. You know, 1,000 meters. It's going to be mini Bismarck sinking Mark II electric boogaloo because, yeah, sure, this thing has great guns, but at range, it's going to be formidable. If it gets too close to any other cruiser, it's going to have a bad time. Sure, it has the armor, but with as few guns as it has on deck, if these all get disabled, you just become a sitting duck.
Yeah.
But not to say that it won't be able to hurt you, but yeah, I
don't know what you're talking about, John. This thing survived a fucking nuclear blast twice. It's going to survive a cruiser at point blank.
Yep. Yellow thing just described. Ooh, face there. But thank you for the sub. Anyway, so Admiral Hipper is a big boat. He is best boat. I don't know.
To be honest, this next one's probably going to be the best of the three,
Next
if I
up-
had to guess.
Next up is the Soviets get another light cruiser. So, you know, Kirov reporting. But now we have Chapayev reporting. Chapayev or Chabayas has, was it 1, 2, 3, 4 triple turrets with 152 millimeter cannons. So, fuck tons of cannons and 4 100 millimeter cannons and twin turrets right here. So twin turrets of 100 millimeter cannons as secondaries, and most importantly, it also has fuck tons of 37 millimeter twin automatic cannons. So a fairly formidable armament, kind of an odd looking ship, but this is definitely the most modern looking Soviet ship yet, at least. And of course, let's go look at the armor here. It has just a straight armor belt of over 100 millimeters around the waist, so it's very well armored. So, though, of course, no torpedo bulge though. So if you can bust it with a torpedo, you're probably going to be in dire straits.
May I
and the Sultans of
interrupt
Swing.
you very quickly, John?
Yes.
I just one-shot a Z-20 with this thing's HE shells.
Oof.
With
Yep.
only the front two. Only the front two.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to look. So forgot to look at shells at the hip, or we'll look at that in just a moment. So this ship gets big ass shells, and fuse shells. Okay, so AP shells on the Russian one, and then just a quick aside before we go back, and of course, yes, Hipper does get AP rounds. So, you know, they do get AP rounds. Before somebody asks, does Germany not get AP rounds? Yes, they get AP rounds. They actually get
430 mils of pen with an AP round.
So basically, I can destroy MBTs with it. Okay. If you shoot one, destroy everything. So anyway,
well, if they had weight of the shells as well, if it bounced or anything, the friggin' weight of the shell would
probably crush the tank. Yeah. So anyway, Britain does get a ship. It's another destroyer. Okay, we're not gonna waste too much time. So it's HMS Arethusa, 3 6-inch turrets, 4 4-inch turrets, fuck tons of Bofors and 20 mils. Arguably, for a destroyer, it has some armor, I guess, but not really. It's a destroyer. What do you do? Whoop-de-doo.
Won't save you when a PT boat comes out of nowhere.
Okay, so moving on to Japan. They get a boat of some sort. Don't have any information beforehand. We looked this up earlier. We couldn't find any information. So this seems to be a submarine chaser of some kind, I guess. Has twin 120 millimeter cannons. It has a bunch of
mine layer.
Yeah, mine layer or something. A bunch of 25s. It's nothing particularly interesting. It's a 3.3. Okay. But the more interesting ship, because we're going to look at that, is obviously IJN Mogami, which is another big boy or big girl, depends.
That's probably gonna be
goddamn Ken Coley fans. Anyway, so big boat with the most irksome design for turrets. We kind of discussed this at length. That the Japanese have this thing about putting triple turrets in a weird way. Basically, you only get to use 2 turrets in the front, and then I guess the middle turret gets to be AA.
Yeah.
It's
It's like that with everything, even their battleships. Like, look at the Izumo. What the fuck is that turret design?
Though you see there's it's like a giant floating fortress from the front. Then you got the float planes.
The middle turret is meant to be for broadside power, really. It's not meant to shoot from the front.
It's not really meant to shoot from the front.
There's going to be that one guy who
Japan's naval doctrine was all like battle lines and just wailing on one battle line with their battle line.
Yep. Of course, they didn't get a chance to do that. The Americans whaled them in the Philippines. They don't, that's the funny part. America did that twice. The only time that they fought in battle line formations and successfully won was in the Philippines. First time in the Battle of Manila, the next time during the Marianas Turkey shoot.
Yeah, well, that's because they had like 4 of the. That's because they had like 6 of the old school battleships versus cruisers.
Cruisers and then modified American battleships. Which
and also, this Mogami does also get AP rounds as well and fused rounds. I guess these are beehive rounds.
It's gonna be a very strong ship.
So a very, very big boat and a big boy. So those are all the ships as a quick glance and looking through. So, oh boy, what's going on with the chat? Let's see.
What I will say, John, is you should.
So we got somebody. They're all screaming something about China, but we'll get to that.
China number one.
We got two.
I will donate to see the F4. Well, we're gonna get to the F4, man. Hold up. We're gonna look at everything. Jesus. Anyway, helicopters now, because there's some interesting stuff with helicopters. Also, again, being a content creator, all the trophies came in such a junted way that I didn't have access to some of the vehicles and I had to purchase them outright. But now we can look at them properly. So first and foremost is the first of the Eurocopters in the form of the EC6X5 Tiger UHE T. It even says Tiger on the side. Let's see.
When Germany can't give up the name Tiger.
Tigor. So this is standard camouflage and I guess an all black camouflage, which is, I guess they just made it all black. They don't even paint the rotors. I guess they didn't want to. I can see why though. Anyway, so
it's a waste of paint.
Yeah, it is. So this helicopter is the most modern helicopter in here. As we look through the modules here, it has flares. It has a cannon, I think. Flak jacket. It has helicopter, your typical modules. New modules I have to go make, like night vision sights, whole bunch of other stuff. It's a 50 caliber. Oh, it's a 50 caliber gun pod, and of course, hot 3s. Okay, and the more interesting missile, the Pars 3 LR, which, from what I've been told, does not, and it should not be. It's not a proper smart missile as it is in real life, from what they have said.
Oh my god.
So
the Sherman premium.
So we got on one side we got a cannon, and on the other side is this Pars missile. We'll bring it out here for a test flight, and I swear to God, wait, what is this default belt here? So I guess there's something wrong. Armor piercing damage effect. Okay, there's a glitch. This is a dev server. Oh boy, let's hope it doesn't break my dev server client. Let's see. I'm watching OBS now intently because I capped buffer at about, what is that, 60? Oh boy, jumped up for a moment, but it should be staying under. So biggest Helios newest here. So, and they also, as an aside note, though I did lower the volume a little bit from the last server stream, we have switched to a brand new version of Fmod Studio. So the transition to the new sound engine is complete. I'll shut up for a moment here.
Sorry.
Like any of us were talking.
Yep. Well, I'm shutting up so
mic
we can hear
once.
stuff. As you can hear it. So one dramatic improvement
That sound effect.
that so there's a beeping sound because there's an aircraft nearby, but also the sounds of jets in the distance sound much better now. They sound beefier. Some have commented it sounds like 1.41. So, which is a lot of people apparently consider 1.41 to be really good. So we're gonna get a lock on.
Someone asked, what's your next how-to video? That's a good question.
Next how-to video, I did post a comment about that. So the PARs act like smart missiles, so there's nothing new about it. You got a 50 caliber cannon as well, so or 50 caliber gun at this point, so strafe people. But I would imagine you would want to just carry all PARs with this thing. It's a fairly maneuverable helicopter too, by that, so immediately come to a stop, which is pretty good. And then point blank. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. That's an interesting third point of view. This is. I'm surprised it hasn't crashed the stream, but fire the missile. Oof.
I think that might be a glitch.
Syntax. So again, that's a bit of a glitch. Anyway, so that is the helicopter and those special missiles. The French also get their own version because this is the Eurocopter after all.
You get two versions.
We get two versions, the 6.5 and the 6.5 HAP. And this is the premium with a special Tiger finish. The biggest difference between the French one and the German one is the fact that the French said, fuck it, we want a gun built into ours so that we can carry more stuff. So they did.
Is that a 50 or a 20?
It's a 20.
Yeah, so this one is equipped...
It's a really powerful 20.
Yeah, it's a very powerful 20. This one comes equipped with Mistral missiles and Hot 3s. And you know what? We're going to fly it out with this loadout and see what those Mistrals do against that bloody jet over there.
Wait, it has Mistrals?
Yeah, Mistrals.
Mistrals.
All right, so...
They're not messed up.
All right, so this helicopter. Where is our air target? So get up in the air, boy.
Where's the MiG-21 quack, or whatever you said? Say it when you see it.
Yep, so... Let's see, so we're flying this out. So that's a very nice flying helicopter. And I do like whirlybirds, it's just I don't fly them enough to really feel like an authority to make a guide video on them, but I would love to do a guide video on them. So... Alright, let's see.
No one will be flying them when this Dom... No,
well, at least nobody on the enemy team will be. Okay, let's see. Can I get a lock on this guy? Attempt to? You know what? That's not as important. We're gonna just switch views and go for the oh, god damn it. Well, that is really annoying. I hope they fix that camera. I think it's also because of the way the camera... It's because the aircraft is just... camera angle, but we're gonna just fire off one of these other missiles. Stabilize cannon or stabilize camera, and one potato, two potato, and it's dead. So missiles and that big nose cannon, which has a stupidly high fire rate. Also, again, with the changes in the sound engine, they've changed the way sounds are, so people who go like, oh, the cannon sounds like shit. Well, that's because you're standing behind the gun. You can't really hear the gun firing if you're behind it. From the front, yes, you can hear it, but not from the back. You only hear really kind of a little bit of the exhaust and the actual action of the gun. Also, the 20mm shells falling out of the sky onto the ground. It's really nice. Hate to imagine somebody just below us. Oh, I got something at the door. Hold up.
Don't forget to do the laundry, Jan.
How unprofessional.
All right. Middle of the live stream being bothered by somebody.
Where's the mouse? The mouse is gone, everyone. Dun 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 dun.
Nice, another helicopter that runs ground battles. Yeah, it's because, hey, nobody wants to bring out AA. How about you bring out AA then? Oh, that's right, you're too stuck up to take. You just want your tank. Well, somebody should bring out AA because, quite frankly, you'll be thanking the person who brings out AA anyway. So, besides the French getting a helicopter, did they actually get... Oh, they already had helicopters. Right. So, they already had helicopters, but another nation joins the fray for whirlybirds, and that's in the form of Britain.
China.
Not China.
Fucking hell.
Britain. Starting off with
Skip Britain goes to China.
We had the Scout, this is the first helicopter they get in the lineup. The Scout's only actual armament is AGM-22s. So let's look at those. So these are just air-to-air.
Black screen, by the way, John.
Oh, black screen, right. There we go. This is the Scout. Those are AGM missiles, which are basically SS-11s. So, particularly, this is a very weird-looking helicopter as well, but...
I shouldn't have said anything and just let it keep going.
Oh, you're a dickhead. Anyway, so...
Hey, I'm not the one who had the be right back sign still up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry, I had to take care of something.
Wait, did you say my name?
No. All right, so this helicopter, looking at it, missiles... Let's take a gander in flight of it. All right, so here we go. Who keeps asking for something? Okay, so this little helicopter. Okay, very responsive compared to other starter helicopters. This is probably on par with the Alouette. So it's not particularly. It's a good helicopter. It does have an MG. Oh, it just has MGs on the... Okay, Britain.
Yeah, it's like the German helicopter.
Yeah, so, just like the German helicopter, also firing the missile. So... It's not particularly fast, either. I am having a hard time keeping it on target. Well, okay. That was one out. I hit under the tank and the explosion went right up into the ammo. Oof. Okay.
Oh.
That was bad. Oof.
Hey, John, what did I tell you about committing war crimes?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't do it. Stop it.
Yep.
You planted an IED underneath that tank. That's what happened.
Yep. So this is that's the first British helicopter. Next up here is the Wasp, which is just another version of the same helicopter, but it's naval. So it has the little wheels for landing on decks because it doesn't land on skids. So we're not really going to look at that other than what armament does it get. Nope, it's the same armament. And the Lynx AH, so two versions of the Lynx here, which is their top-end helicopter. Apparently a very good helicopter. Also broke a world speed record, from what I've heard. Or read, as it were. So very nice looking helicopter. Kind of looks like a Huey with a longer nose.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm glad I'm not the only one who thought that.
Yeah, so this is the entry. This is the entry one, which comes with it does carry a special armament in the form, I think other helicopters that talked here can also carry them. It's the first thing that was announced to have Stingers on board. So anti-aircraft. So we're going to be looking at the version.
You should look at the new jet premium.
We'll look at the jet. We'll look at it in order.
It's arguably better than the F-86.
Yeah, so that's all the stuff we're going to be looking at, and I'm going to scroll back up to look at ground vehicles after this. So this is the G-Lynx. This is the premium Lynx. On board, we got missiles, laser track. Honestly, I'm just going to fly it around because I can't be bothered to learn every little thing about the helicopters just yet. So immediately off the bat, it's very stable. Interesting, one thing I'll note, the design, they have the what is it? The, I guess, rudder elevator is just, crap. I am not the most intelligent person ever some days. Fuck. Anyway, so another helicopter here. Let's see if I can try to lock on with that. Can I attempt to lock on here? Oh, great, right. Helicopter controls are completely different for me than for in terms of
5 minutes.
dun, 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 whatever.
They added 2 skins for the F100.
That's nice.
We'll see.
Anyway, so
Thunderbird's camouflage and the Nashville's hound.
Oh. Oh God, that is Yeet. Oh, this is bloody cheesy. Laser designated rockets.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Yeet.
Awesome. That's gonna be broken. It's gonna be really
the
fucking broken.
Britain strikes back. The Empire strikes back in ground forces. Germany, I have a 285. Britain, you say that now. All right, so that are the British helicopters. Das are the British helicopters. So next up is, we'll just get this out of the way now because, you know, everybody
go to Germany for helicopters.
We're just we already looked at the German helicopter. So
did you look at the
anyway,
premium?
We will now be looking at the facts. So there has been a shift. If you have been living under a friggin' rock for the past, you know, what is that, a month? They have finally announced that they are getting rid of certain vehicles, or not really permanently deleting the vehicles, but they're just moving them out of the tech tree because they've been a giant pain in the ass, and or they're completely fictional. Mainly the pain in the ass being the largest fucking tank in the game. The Mouse is now in the rare side, along with the Tiger 10.5 and the Panther 2. What's been reconfigured in the tech tree is that this boy here, the M48A2 GA2, has been moved over here and has been granted a dart. So making it on par with the French, basically on par with like the Brennus and other tanks or the AMX-30B2. So it doesn't have a stabilizer, but it has a lethal dart. And quite frankly, most of the time, who the fuck is firing on the move in a tank like this? You're going to be sitting there hiding and sniping people, like, in all seriousness. So they moved that, and then they also added another M48 in the way. So I guess, let's see. So M48A2C. So this is just a German M48 without any extreme modifications to the vehicle, unlike what the Germans do.
What's its stock round?
Its stock round starts with APCR round. Then there's heat, so it's not particularly great. But it also gets MVDs. We'll talk about MVDs at some point in the stream when I can figure out those. But it has that. And then, of course, replacing the Coelian, which is somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the Coelian.
5.7.
Yep, and I can still... by the way, if you've at least started researching the vehicles, you will be able to continue researching the vehicles after. As you can see here, even though I haven't fully researched it, I'm still able to research the vehicle. So we could just say, for example, if I really felt like it, I could just gold this, purchase it, and... voila.
Doesn't mean shit, you're on the dev server.
Yeah, but I already put researched into it. Anyway, so replacement for this tank here is the Osterwind 2. Me not looking at the comments now. There's 81 of you people watching. Jesus Christ. The Maus is German propaganda. Cool. So this is basically an Osterwind with twin guns. And before somebody says, oh, it should be vertical. Not like, okay, let's look at this. If it were vertical, you would have the 2 loading mags on this side of the tank. You're going to have that one poor loader trying to shove rounds into it. That doesn't make any sense.
For that gun,
it's a little... It looks a little big, but generally speaking, the Germans, if the Osterwind 2 was built, it would have been built with a horizontal turret, or guns horizontally rather than vertically, because they want the 2 loaders in position. Because you would have the 2 loaders on this side.
Is that the same turret than the Osterwind?
The Osterwind's... Osterwind...
It's an Osterwind turret, but is it the same armor as the Osterwind's turret?
25
the
millimeter.
Same armor.
Yeah,
so it's the same.
It's just basically an even more annoying Osterwind. So we'll leave it at that. So that's Germany's Tonkas.
What's the ammo belt it gets? Please tell me it has its old APHE rounds.
Which one? Sprague?
Panzergranat.
Panzergranats at point blank range, 46 millimeters on flat.
Oh my
That's
goodness
useless.
gracious.
It's useless then.
Oof.
You can't kill anything with it.
Anyway, so moving on to the USSR for tanks, they on the many steps ways to getting to rank 7.
They got that new object.
Yeah,
and that's it.
yes. That what we're going to look at the new object. So object 165, which is another floating tank prototype, but they've tested this thoroughly because they really wanted something to replace the PT-76, and apparently object 906 didn't go anywhere either. So they decided, frigate, let's put let's take a 100 millimeter cannon and make it an autoloader. And I guess this is the point where we will actually go look at night vision here. So I will have to go look at if there is like a controls for night vision.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not gonna look at every little thing. I'm just gonna get enough research to get near to the bottom here. Just kind of show it off. So laser rangefinder, smoke grenades. The one big thing about this tank, apparently it has a lot of ammunition selections, as it appears. Lots of ammunition selections. So we're just going, again, for a presentation. I'm not going to show it off spaded because, quite frankly, you guys just want to see the thing move, see it shoot stuff, so on and so forth. But it is a light, supposed to be pretty fast.
I get the smoke round. So
it kind of looks like the Monitor from the Civil War, the
Kind
ironclad.
Kind of.
That to the
So
looks like
you got the cannon in here, which also another new feature. Speaking of things, because people hashtag fix this, or hashtag please consider, whatever the hell you want to call it. Let me see. They did change some stuff in ground vehicles. So the volumes damage model for large modules, units, and assemblies like the breech, transmission, and engines have been reworked. They will now operate on volumetric technology. So the way a shell hits something will actually, the volume of that object is taken into effect, thus it's supposed to be a little bit more realistic, or a lot more realistic now, instead of shell hits something and then your shell gets eaten by the breech, so on and so forth. So as it explains on the dev server notes, so the protecting effect of these modules depends on the trajectory of the shell inside them and the point of which the secondary fragments will be generated by the penetration of is now the point of exit from the module. So if a shell came this way, I guess we can actually try to demonstrate it here.
Right. Let's simplify this. Basically, if you fire an APFS DS round from the Leopard to A5, it's going to go clean through. But if you fire it from the new ARL, whatever the fuck that French Italian thing is, that's going to go through the gun breech, and on the other side of the gun breech, it's going to shrapnel like how British AP does, or used to.
Yeah, so if you look here, so firing its own dart at itself, whoever the poor sap is over here, I think that's the commander, he gets yeeted. If the shell hits the gun breech, the breech actually acts as armor, so the guy behind the breech doesn't immediately die. So that means you do have to be a bit more careful.
If you hit a module inside the tank, it's more likely to make more shrapnel.
Yep. And
that round penetrates and acts like a Hesh round on the way out.
Yep. So let's see, through the side of this, hitting the breech. Yeah, and it's creating shrapnel everywhere inside there. Keep watching the comments. So here we go. Let's check. Let us look now. Let's test drive this vehicle. In
other words, Tanks is gonna just completely play differently at top tier.
Probably.
Yeah.
So we're gonna now demonstrate.
It's gonna play differently at every tier.
Yeah, and we will now demonstrate the night vision. Attempt to.
Anybody in here play against a guy named Combat Wombat?
No. Okay, this isn't dark enough. We need to go darker. Dusk, apparently.
Jesse, we need to go darker.
We need to go darker. Jesse. All right.
Someone clip that out of context, please.
Anyway, let's try this. I'm gonna be
Nice.
90 when you show the jets. Okay. So let's see the controls
Well,
here.
suck shit, kid. The future is now, old man.
The future is now, old man. How do I activate night vision? Oh, here we go.
Go to the search bar.
Okay, so you can now turn on an IR spotlight, change the color scheme of the thermal sight, and so on and so forth. So let's see. I'm just gonna.
Hey, Steel, welcome back.
Hello, Steel Wolf.
You have no idea. I
Okay.
don't even think I'm still done. I don't know. My fucking foot's really starting to hurt.
Rip F in the chat for Steel Wolf's foot. He messed it up in the pothole. What is that? Like a couple of days ago. He's been hurting ever since.
Last Thursday, and I've been wanting to sit down and heal it, and I've been on my feet all day helping my dad doing Dago shit with concrete. So.
Ew. It
You're
works
really
in
setting up that cement hub, aren't you?
Night, day. Okay, so this is night vision.
Why am I getting an
in War
internal
Thunder.
server on custom battle? Why is that
So
happening?
night vision mode.
That was
in
actual
War Thunder.
enemy plane.
Did the server restart, by the way, or something while I was gone?
No,
Because
something. Oh.
Because I can't do my own custom
So
battle
IR. Oh, so that's how that works. So in night vision mode, IR does
May have
nothing.
timed out.
But in night vision, IR can light up stuff at distance. So like for example, that poor Centurion tank right there. Yeet. Whoa, and the explosion effect. Holy shit, that's different. Let's see. Yeet. Oh, they also changed how explosions work too. Also, this thing has a 6-second reload, by the way, which is kind of cheesy. So, sure, it may not be the most imposing vehicle, but it's also a giant pain in the ass because it's also got APHE and darts.
It's just a worse 906. It's just a better 906.
Yep. Yeet. Oh, apparently night vision is separate from certain
6
point of
seconds,
views.
you just said.
Yep. So lighting up
for
a
some
target.
reason I thought that every tank had night vision in the sniper scope, but for some reason it's thermal.
Yeah.
And like only thermal. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but
Yeah.
not,
So,
no, it doesn't because.
So it also seems to be night vision is separate in both third person, and otherwise, which is interesting. But anyway,
you can also turn your engine off.
oh, I can.
That's a button you can set up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now.
So because if you're running thermals, your engines do output energy, and also yes, bushes do actually mask your thermal signature, but as you can see, I hit the pause button.
Why can't I make my own custom battle?
As you can see though, if you're running IR and just night vision, does it matter if you can see their heat signature if you can just see them? Yeet.
I don't know, maybe Foldo if you like hidden away in a tree line somewhere.
Yeah, hidden away in a tree line. So, and the fact that we're going to have more night battles in matches will mean that the dynamic of top tier will change dramatically when the lights go out, which is going to be interesting. Also, helicopters also get thermals.
Also, there's now more of a reason to put more night battles into the game.
Yeah, no, they've already said night battles will be more frequent. War Thunder.
Oh,
also,
how do
here's
we
an
get the
example showing
map
how
rotation folder, by the
the
way?
fragmentation worked. If you caught that, I hit the breach of the chieftain, and the only fragment that came out was from the back of the chieftain's breach rather than everywhere. Which is, I assume that is something a bit more convenient to some people and an annoyance to others, but you know.
I don't know, as long as there's no one sitting behind the breach, you can get breached all day. And
you can get breached all day. So the dynamics of how penetrations work is going to change quite a bit in War Thunder with this update.
Oh, wow.
Next
Ooh! I went straight...
20
Ooh, okay. Rip that MBT-70.
It's an MBT-70, it has no armor.
Yep, of course. Again, before we move on to the next vehicle. Night, day, night, day, night, day, night, day. All right, so
you old
that's
F4 lagging.
all F4 lagging, but all right, so that
Why am I
is the
getting
Object
internal server
165 and a demonstration of night vision and
I
thermals
just
and
hosted my own
IR.
custom battle, and now it's
Good
not
job,
working.
Steve.
I don't know what happened.
You broke it.
Come on, work now.
You broke it like your ankle.
I went from EU to RU back to EU now.
All right, so next up on the list of armored vehicles, Japan. Huh? Japan gets an armored vehicle? What could they have possibly been given? They've been given an artillery piece. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Japan has officially the first self-propelled artillery gun in War Thunder in the form of the Type 75. Look at this massive chode mobiles.
Not like the Russian ones, but like a modern one. Like
this is basically a modern straight-up artillery, very similar to the American M109 artillery piece, but except this thing has a shorter gun. But besides the fact that it has a big ass HE shell, it also gets a fused HE shell. Huh. Japan, what the fuck are you smoking? Can I have some too?
And a smoke round.
And a big ass smoke round. But anyway,
I don't know if
Japan...
you noticed yet, but when you get to aircraft, there's a new sound that I want you to figure out. It's a little Easter egg. Probably heard me say it earlier, but
yeah. So this big ol' artillery piece comes with HE and fused HE. Now we will attempt to hit helicopters with it, but we're gonna go take this boy out to the range. Big, absolute thick boy.
Trying to do that in a moment. There's a lot to go over in China.
Well,
I noticed a bug with the Phantom.
No night vision.
What the
anyway,
fuck?
Also this thing has really far in zoom. Yeet. Okay, that was a little too high. So, is there an aircraft to shoot at? Damn it.
In the test drive there should be, but
well,
I don't
for
know
this vehicle, no. But
no, because Japan doesn't believe in vehicles in their test drive.
Yeah.
Planes.
Aircraft in their test drives.
Well,
so,
actually, no. Japan is actually the only nation that have a plane in their test drive.
Even for their AA? They should have one for their AA, though. I swear they had one for aircraft for their AA, but of course, unless they do change, the one thing I could say they could change is how HE works on certain vehicles of a certain size. Like, there should be a lot more catastrophic damage that occurs when you hit something with this. Like that. But it's only if you hit under it. That would be something to fix, but considering the amount of shit that we have right now, yeah, I don't necessarily think that's going to be an issue. Also, let's see if we can range find onto that guy over there and hit it. It's gonna take a moment here.
Oh my
Tetsuo.
god, this dude sounds.
God damn it, Tetsuo,
awesome.
hurry up. Okay, we're gonna go to 900. Yeet!
Oh, I have like grit on my fucking socks. That's disgusting.
Okay, maybe about 1,000. That's about 1,000 meters, I think, to hit that MBT. But I think the shell has such a low you can be short range artillery with this thing.
It's basically a Brumbear Sturmpanzer I don't know what the Japanese.
And it does have a 50 caliber, but I can't fire it. That's weird. Oh well. But that's this tank. We've already blown up one. Yeet. So, artillery gun. Yes, Japan gets an artillery gun. So, after that, Italy gets a bunch of stuff as well in the form of more top tier stuff. Shocker. So, first and foremost is the Sidam 25 Mistral, which has Mistral missiles on top, along with an entire, I guess, brand new radar system. So it's tracking radar and big ol' tend to use steel. Do you know how they'll use the missiles? Because I don't.
What?
The Saddam.
On the Saddam.
Well, you have to go into the controls. There's a new thing that says lock target. That's basically how you activate the missiles, as if it was like on an aircraft.
Okay, so that's gonna use period, same as my what is it called? Oh, okay. Plane. Okay.
No, yeah, this the F-89 is a joy to fly. I think I'm gonna get it when it drops in the live badge.
Oh.
Don't be on the side while trying to do this, John.
Yeah. Stop. I said cease. I changed my... Did I change my radar as well? Because I did just fuck with my controls. So left control R.
I wish there was some more varied loadouts for the Phantom. I want to be able to carry bullpups, Zunies, maybe a few bombs and some air. You can only carry the new bullpup missiles by themselves. That's kind of dumb.
Also, again, with the changes in sound, they've also changed how the lock-on sound works. So
yeah, I was just talking to my squadron leader, and I'm pretty content with the vanilla sounds now. Like,
yeah, that missile just doesn't give a fuck.
So whoever said in the chat, whoever just said, "Oh great, more helicopters to ruin my day," here's your answer, son.
Well,
here's
Italy's
your answer.
Italy's answer.
Italy legit has an answer to helicopters, which is missiles.
They kind of nerfed the shit out of the automatic. I didn't notice it yet. I did play the auto on the dev server, but I haven't noticed if the arming range is better again, because it's pretty shit.
There's another plan,
also,
by the way,
let's just
John.
look at these lighting effects as well. So there's been some lighting effects changes as well. That wasn't just look at that. That okay, this has to be new because I don't ever remember the game looking this good. Like flashes at night, or we just don't get night battles that often, but still.
No, everything's definitely been improved.
Yeah, like just the effect of like the shells exploding on the ground. Oh, wait, there's another aircraft. Where? Aha!
I think that's the IL-28 flying around.
He dares fly in my airspace?
The Tu-14 is trying to run away from me. I'm gonna slap the crap out of him.
This thing's gonna be fucking hilarious.
Boom! Yeet! Ladies and gentlemen, that is the yeet. That is the Sidam 25 with Mistrals. So, yeah. Delete. So, Italy will now be able to delete any Allied cast tickets very close, which is very scary, and thus is the balancer of top tier, because, again, people who complain about, oh, they keep bringing helicopter stuff. Why didn't you bring AA? I didn't want to bring AA. Well, that's your problem. So somebody should bring.
Is going to be the fucking destroyer of everything in simulator battles, like those.
Because there's no RWR system for aircraft still, even with the MiG-21 and even Phantom. As long as, from what I've noticed, I don't know about the MiG-21. I forgot to ask Gobnik, but
at least in RB, because most players do still go in RB, and RB battles are this. Yeah, that's gonna keep the battlefield even for.
Yeah, I know, but when you get those assholes in Sim who just like take out IL-28s and like try to kill everyone like the other day, when I played,
basically
this thing will be the balancer.
The missile is its radar system, because if you just have it locked on, and I didn't actually test the length of the lock, like the locking system, but it'll definitely be able to scan. Like, it actually doesn't even need the radar.
Yep. So anyway, moving on quick, we have now the Ariete, who is this? Boyan or Boynana? I guess Boynana. Somebody named Boynana has subscribed. Thank you. Anyway, so we're now looking at the Ariete PSO, which I'm assuming just means applique armor everywhere. Kind of looks like a TUS upgrade for an Abrams.
Sadly, though, they still haven't given it the frontal armor that should have, but the side armor, actually before you go into the PSO, the Ariete, the original Ariete that we have, not the pre-series, but the original production one, has an upgrade that gives it a PSO type style upgrade, but it's actually just composite on the turret.
There's people in here that are realizing the F-89 is actually a good plane, and they're now buying it.
Yep. So the PSO essentially gets additional composite armor.
Let me explain. Yeah. But the first Ariete gets an upgrade that gives it 70 millimeters of composite on the turret, so that's nice. But the PSO doesn't get that, oddly enough, which is kind of sad. But the PSO gets all of the applique armor on the side, which protects it from chemical ammunition.
Chemical ammunitions, and really, I think they're annoyed. They just don't want to get hit with GMs. Also, there are mounting points on the turret that looks like it has even more armor package. Oh, it does. Hold up. Hood the phone. It does have an
about the amount of gold you have is just like when you do
Again,
shit
can
for
we-
Gaijin pays you with
Yeah.
golden eagles.
Well, for
server,
dev
and
servers,
only
they give us stuff.
only for the dev server.
Yeah, for the dev server, we don't get this many golden eagles. You don't see this amount on any of my videos when you see the hangar segment. No, I don't have this many eagles on the live server. Frig no. I wish.
If only.
If only.
You know how much your account would
Only
go for if you had that
imagine.
much golden eagles?
So the PSO TPO, what does this actually add on? So I guess something. But so basically it's an Ariete.
The second upgrade?
Yeah,
the second upgrade?
Yeah.
The oblique blocks are thicker on the hull.
Oh, okay.
But for some reason, that upgrade, if you look on the turret where the green part is, there's actually no armor on the side. It's not modeled as armor, even though there's clearly metal there.
Again, it is a dev server, so it's work in progress. So they probably are supposed to be fixing this. But hey, this was better than the last time the Ariete was on the dev server. It had no armor.
No armor's best armor.
Yep.
You'll survive everything.
Also, the fact.
Speak English, comrade.
Again, also the nice touch they added is that the more modern tanks have a colored picture. So as we get to the modern day, they're more colored and less distorted, which is really cool. So that is the Italian Tonkas. And then very quickly over in France, 3, 2, 1, a premium Panther. That's it.
Fucking heresy.
Fucking premium
Another
Panther.
fucking traitor to fight against.
You're going on the aircraft now?
Yep. So with that out of the way, we are finally done with ground forces.
What is that? That's
for
a Panther
other nations
A,
other
isn't
than a certain nation.
Mhm.
We will get to those later.
Fucking
Anyway,
traitor.
moving on to aircraft, because I know you guys
Fucking
want to see
traitor.
aircraft, and we're gonna start right off with the Louisville Slugger. That is the F4 Phantom C.
Honestly, that Panther is just going to be a more
Annoying.
not
Panther.
more. No, it's going to be like the TV. You're just going to
TV.
see it and be like,
The
"Oh, a
3 gun
teammate," and then
pod
he fucking
Phantom.
nukes you.
Yeah.
The 3 gun pod
Anyway.
Phantom is going to be the new meta. Jesus Christ.
I honestly, I prefer just having one. But looking at this, but anyway, so the face of Vietnam and one of the most iconic U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy aircraft out there. They did say, some of you may be asking, why is it in the Air Force tree? Because it's the C model. There will be a different model that would probably go at the end of one of these trees later, and they are working on more variants. So I'd imagine a Navy model will be represented at some point. So, but this for now is the Air Force model C, which default, even though the early Phantoms didn't carry guns, default armament of this particular
Doesn't it have a
variant
tow hook?
is just a single gun pod.
Phantom, yeah.
Yeah. So single gun pod, and because I did this in advance, it has a lot of armament ranging from I am a bomb truck to
No, it ranges
I am
from
going to destroy
17 to
everything and
2.0.
anything at range, and you can't stop me.
The Phantom should have a drag chute. Why is that not deploying? Okay.
Well, they could
It's
add
not
it
Oh my
later.
modeled.
god. The little happy face in the back of the Phantom. Holy shit. Oh my.
Let's see.
Screenshot
Hopefully I
that one.
don't break.
Just look at the back of the Phantom, but on the tail.
I'm so happy. Okay, enough with that silly bullshit. Anyway, so the Phantom is big, and also there has been changes to the way jets sound and stuff thanks to the sound engine changes. We're gonna put this at daytime. We're gonna put it to reference mode, and we're gonna put for 20 minutes of fuel, because who the hell
wow.
is gonna fly with 9 minutes of fuel? That's stupid.
That one guy who's
Especially
like, I'm
with-
a 163.
Yep. Stop spam China Mongolia. Okay, that's a hidden comment.
Goddamn Mongolians trying to break down my shitty wall.
Okay, so first and foremost, let's look at the fact that jets no longer have that irritating, like, low res, like, jet exhaust, but now it just has a much heavier distortion effect from the heat. But of course, the correct afterburner effect.
The F4 has an actual.
Oh my
like,
god, this thing is lifting
warning
off
sound
faster
when
than you
missiles
could
fired
say.
at it.
Fuck. Alright, so this is a big plane, a lot bigger, and of course this one actually has a model cockpit. Oh my god, there's a lot of shit going on in this cockpit. And yes,
can go
but
up
as
there.
we can see
Don't
here,
put it
people who are
into an
keep
80
saying,
degree
why is it
climb."
not in the Navy tree? Clearly, it says U.S. Army, because it was the Army and the Air Force working together for air support. You know, the
John,
Air Force was
put-
working
put
in
it
support of the
put
Army.
it in, put it in a 90-degree climb.
Yep. So first, let me build up some speed, and we're gonna go straight into space. This is a space
You
shuttle.
don't even need to gain speed. This thing can
Yeah.
go for.
But also just the afterburner effect.
airfield.
If you're wondering what that effect is, this is actually a real effect that I don't remember what it's called, but basically when afterburners are running like this, it essentially creates this pattern that doesn't seem to move at all. Also, as you can see, just boosting up into space, we were almost at 5. Yep, we just broke 5,000 meters. Yeah, this thing can climb into space, and this also changes the dynamics of aircraft battles. Now, oh, whoa, the afterburner. There's an animation on the afterburner as well for the exhaust. Oh, wait, the that's an exhaust bug. Uh-oh. Gaijib, please fix this before it goes to live server. Half of the focusers are there, and also a Soviet cat has appeared out of nowhere, magically. So...
What the fuck was that noise?
Also, apparently...
Sound of a cat.
Yeah, sound of the cat. It's the wild sound.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see. Let's break the sound barrier, shall we? Boosh. So we've gone Mach speed. We're going real fast now.
Eat your
God.
heart out, T2.
Hold up.
The
What is
flight
my-
model of the F4 is definitely not done, and the same. It's
Yeah.
kind of like when they added the F100, that thing was flying like a F22 Raptor. This thing is also kind of behaving the same way.
Yeah, it's probably... Honestly, it could be the same base model they use for everything. Wait, did I... Oh.
Yeah, there's
I didn't
also
bring
some,
air-to-air missiles. That's a problem. Let's see.
Right, you have a Vulcan minigun strapped to the bottom of it.
Alright.
I just noticed it didn't have flares.
Ooh.
Because
Yeah.
jets don't believe it flares, so
Okay, so that's the other thing. We'll,
Of
by the
course.
way, I'm not gonna just do a guide video on one or the other supersonics. You're gonna get a big ass special video that's just gonna be called "How the Supersonic." So somebody has asked. This thing also has a really stupid. Okay, I don't think the Slugger is supposed to roll this fast. Also, it's one of the first with this style of
we're gonna
elevator.
make it jet. We're gonna make it fast as fuck. What flight model do we give it? We give it the Fuck-a-Wolf flight model.
Yeah, it's more like
If
a.
anyone gets how that thing, like, how the
Yep.
Fuck-a-Wolves actually, like, spin.
Yeah.
Like, the
Also,
early
as a
versions
side
just
note,
fucking-
only very experienced pilots would ever be granted the the privilege of a gun pod, because wing commanders at the time, because not all the pilots were going to Top Gun school, they did not give greenhorns any sort of gun armament on the Phantoms. They were very limited on those because they wanted the pilots to use their training with the missiles and not guns. Because why would the hell you give
They
a
thought missiles
greenhorn?
were the future.
They thought they're not wrong, but the missile technology wasn't to where they wanted it to be. But
Okay,
again,
everyone in chat,
it's
we're going through all the aircraft. We're
Yeah.
just
yeah, we're going through all the aircraft
gotta do
again.
it
All the flight
alphabetically
models,
order.
all the flight models are, again, completely work in progress. Like even the MiG-21, we'll get to it later, and its Chinese cousin, which has a very funny story to go along with. Actually,
The F4 shoot is completely bugged, by the
So-
way. It just said shoot shot off. For
yeah,
literally no
shoots
reason.
shot off. It doesn't have it.
By the way, two
But-
people just subbed on Twitch.
Yep. Thanks for the sub, boys. Anyway,
What's
so Salve Yukari.
Magical
Yukari is
place
best
filled
girl.
with a lot of
Which
thoughts.
Yukari? Are we talking about the ghost with the Gap Hag or what? Or Girls in Panzer? I don't know. You weebs.
The answer is just yes.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
So moving on quickly through U.S. aircraft, there are two premiums stacked like what is this massive abortion of an aircraft? Oh wait, this is the F-89B Scorpion. So this is
Actually, quite fun.
quite a fun aircraft, but it's basically a aircraft that was designed for interception of bombers. And this was also an aircraft that carried nuclear payloads, though I don't think it has nuclear payloads in the game before somebody says something. So there are two versions. One,
that would be
F-89B.
F-89E.
Yeah, so the F-89B has 6 nose cannons, so that's not something you want to head on at 7.3.
Oh,
And then the one that we will look at, because it's funnier to look at, is the fact that this one here carries Mighty Mouse missiles, 104 of them, or HFAR, and also 16 HFARs. Apparently, we will also
I'm
do
sorry,
16
that aircraft
HFARs.
is Excuse me?
7-3 with the amount of... Basically, if you want to grind a fuck ton of money out, ground pounding, I think this is your new ground pounding buddy. So this
the
guy...
F-89B is a great
wing.
fighter as well.
Yeah.
It's an amazing fighter. It's extremely maneuverable from how I've been playing in the dev server from what I'm
The
seeing.
Super Mystere is bigger than the MiG-21.
And
Holy
also,
it's gonna club
while the
MiG
jet
9s.
effects... Also, Gaijin has said that... Okay, so the jet effect of the engines being like this hasn't gone away, but because...
Did I mention it
from
as
a
an
game...
afterburner?
Let me finish up with this. So... The big thing about having that effect on jets, even though it's not fully realistic, is for kind of just confirming whether or not if your enemy has lost an engine or something, which from a game standpoint is a little bit more important. But they did make concessions and changes, like for example, making it so that if you go down to 0 throttle, there's no effect. Pushing it to full afterburner or WEP effect, it has a slight effect, but it's not as noticeable, or it's only noticeable when wepping, which I guess looks nice, is a lot better.
Can't wait to shoot one of these downs with
So wait, where are the HVARs? It said I
they're in the if you
wing
select
pods.
you select the HVAR option, it is
yeah.
they're,
Okay, also
they're
I just
in the wing
ranted on for nothing at all. Yes, they completely changed the jet effects, but so afterburn, if your aircraft has afterburner, it kicks in this little effect again. So they didn't go away, but they're there. So
the HVARs are underneath the wings.
I can't wait to kill one of these with a 262 and be like, shut the fuck up, kid. My father's fucking jet plane just wrecked you in your 1970s jet.
Yep, but for cast, this thing will be hilariously annoying to deal with. And it also has a model cockpit as well. So 2 crew cockpit. Very interesting. Did the US pilots get new models, maybe? I haven't noticed. Anyway, so that's the F-89s. So that's all of the American tech tree. Meanwhile, we're moving on to...
I would suggest getting the F-89 if you want something like that.
Yeah, quick stop.
is no more.
Quick stop in Germany. Germany has finally gotten their G91R3. Real Segoy has just subscribed. Thank you. So this so basically it's a G91R2 or no it's basically a G91 with defuzz now with defuzz instead of 50 cal. So basically it will hit a lot harder, which is nice.
It's something what doesn't have 50 cals.
Yes. Okay. So that's it there for
it's so fucking
there.
Stupid. It
First
really has
in
nothing.
And moving on to the next supersonic aircraft, the fish bed, which is the MiG-21 F-13, which now Gopnik can no longer really say Patch is gay, as we're going to totally make Ace Combat memes out of the next guide video with supersonic aircraft, and he will
I think he was
provide...
pissed that it doesn't get gun pods.
It doesn't get gun pods, yeah.
Because that's what you use in Ace Combat.
Yeah. Oh, it is an early... It is Ace Combat, though, so Ace Combat does whatever the hell they want. Wait, do I not have this purchased?
Reload time,
oh, thanks. Thanks, Guy Gibbles. I have to fucking yeet this out. Okay, so there we go.
That fucking reload time.
You have to purchase the previous model. Oh, god damn it. Oh, god damn it. Right. So,
you did not think this through.
I didn't. Probably
you
because
are the big gay.
I am. This is big brain moment. This is big brain time.
John's War Thunder game starts talking to him. John, you did not think this through. You are
no,
the big
I
gay.
don't. No, I don't. So let's see. So this is the MiG-21. It is known as the fish bed. I was going to do something to the aircraft before I got distracted. What missiles it carries? So it carries a lot of stuff on board. You need to research. We're just going to look at armament.
R3S.
Honestly, the biggest reason why I don't spade these aircraft is, yeah, flight models are subject to change, so why am I going to waste time spading the aircraft? So you have only 2 belts, armored targets, which have a fairly high penetration. You could get through some tanks' light armor with that, and air targets. But the caveat of this aircraft is that you only get 1 cannon, and also you have 1 engine. So if your 1 engine goes boom boom, you're going to die.
I've actually noticed, John, with Russian guns, the AP, the armored target belts are actually better. Like those APHE belts are
stupid.
On the MiG, 19S and the German one, those AP belts for some reason just detonate every fucking plane they touch.
All right,
It's fucking
and
stupid.
Because they rip giant holes in the plane's structure, and of course they're gonna detonate it.
also now we can officially say this is this is now a fish. Congratulations, your MiG is now a fish. It is now a fish. Not
Hey,
even
bacon!
big fish. Who just
It's a
commented?
big fish.
Who is who where? I don't know.
There's a bacon in here. I got a bacon gaming in my game.
Oh, a bacon gaming in your game, huh?
Be more clear next
He's
time.
using the same plane as me.
Uh-huh.
By the way,
Who are you? I'm you, but better.
What? Why is the MiG
we'll
go
have a story about that.
2000 Why does the MiG go 2,497?
I don't know.
Apparently, the MiG-21 is actually faster than the Phantom, which
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be kind of equal, actually.
They're
But
kind
the
of
difference-
equal.
The difference, for some reason,
All right.
on the stat cards is a lot.
Bringing this up to speed.
Well, the MiG's a lot. The
We're
MiG's
bringing our flying
smaller.
silverfish to speed.
MiG's a
It
lot
also
smaller.
noticeably one thing. It's a much smaller aircraft than the F4, obvious reasons, because it's Russian. It does not have a cockpit yet, and no, the Chinese one won't have a cockpit either. We'll have a story about that later. Punch in that afterburner, boys, and let's go.
Go 80 degrees off the airfield. Do it. You won't, bitch.
If I can get the 80 degrees.
Admiral French fry.
Yeah. Oh, this is bad. Oh boy.
I've killed him just as planned.
God
Nope.
did not think it through again.
Nope, I got this. Eh.
Well, spaded, you would be able to go off the airfield doing 80.
Yeet. Haha.
To the
Damn it.
CR2 upper front plate. What's the CR2?
Okay, so yes, you can do something real stupid in this plane when its base performance-wise is stock, but it works. So one thing about these aircraft
right,
here is
pull
you
up.
kind of rely more on your in supersonic. In the world of actually going Mach 1, Mach 2 on a normal basis, you're going to be relying on your missiles a lot more than you would imagine. Like in this case, yeah, the fact that you only get one cannon on board, though theoretically later 60 rounds.
That makes it shitter than the Kika. Because the Kika can at least have 100 rounds.
Yeah, because it gets 2 guns.
2 guns.
Yeah, so, but the fact you have speed and you have usage of missiles. Also, they have changed the way missiles lock as well. So let's see if we can slow down and hear the sound of the missile. So it changes instead of going immediately to the sound of the missile going, or to
Apparently
the
the
missile
Challenger
lock
2 has
sound, it
a,
changes to a different
increased-
sound. And also the sound of the aircraft exploding is changed, which is
Apparently
wow.
the Challenger 2 got a buff
Yep.
to its upper front plate, but
Yep.
it might be a
So-
bug.
Yeah, and the missiles it gets are pretty decent, as you can
Doesn't
see.
matter.
So they're not bad, but you want to use this in that style. If you see an aircraft you're chasing after, you want to use the missiles. Try to hit them once, but just boom away. Don't try to dogfight, because this is not... Dogfights in this era are much wider and less maneuver, like less tight circles, more like basically turning radiuses the size of entire zip codes.
Yeah,
So-
Russian MiG has a poison jet smoke line behind it.
Yep. So a death line of
That's,
poison behind it. That's interesting. Don't know what that could be a bug. That
That's
could,
chemical warfare.
No, it is.
It is a bug.
It is a bug.
so
No, it's chemical warfare. They fly low over urban areas.
Jesus.
Is that what you did with your emus,
Yep.
Ozzy? Is that how you?
Yes.
yep. So that's the MiG-21
Exactly
here.
what happened.
So MiG-21F.
Guys, so on cargo port, cargo containers cannot be shot through. They are legitimately, in some spots, just solid walls.
that's
Yeah.
Nice.
that's actually not a bad
Because
thing,
Gaijin says so.
because
It makes sense though.
it makes sense. So from the gaming standpoint, that makes sense. Anyway, so moving on to Britain. Britain does
Can't
get some new
wallbanged by
get some new
faggot
jets in
on
the
ultra
form
low.
of the Swift Mark 1. So the Supermarine
And this-
Swift was adopted just before the Hunters, but apparently it had a troubled service life and so on and so forth. They ended up being unadopted at some point. The Swift Mark 1 is
This
decent,
is my new
but
son.
we're going to look at...
But we have this. You are no longer my son.
Yeah, so we have this version that we're going to look at instead. The Swift Mark 7 or Swift F7 has 2 aiding cannons with 320 rounds coming in from the right side, not so don't run convergence. It doesn't carry any underwing armament, but it does have an afterburner. So let's get a look at this guy for a moment.
Patch is gay. Where the fuck's my CAC saber?
Okay, quick question. Did they change the sound for tanks?
Maybe. Alright, so...
no, they did, yeah.
Yeah. So this aircraft also doesn't have a cockpit. It's a very interesting... It kind of like the wing design. The Swift looks like a weirder, rounder looking Phantom with all of the wings and stuff parallel, rather than kind of like bent. Also, this thing accelerates very quickly off the airfield, so that's a nice thing. So it's good acceleration. I thought this thing also had underwing armament, but apparently not. So, I guess. Also, and then the Swift has both of its the first one has its guns all on one on each side. This one has it all on the right side. I think it was supposed to get 4 though at some point, but I guess that's wrong. You know?
You're wrong.
Where's my fucking
I'm surprised Tempest isn't on. He's missing this, but then again, he's probably working, which is kind of a rip moment. Press F in the chat for Tempest having to work right now.
Yep, press F for Temperus.
I'm kind of glad he's not here. I don't want.
God dang it! I knew it. Trotsky was right. No.
Okay, so the PSO upgrades on the Ariete, I just noticed, are the same oblique blocks, but there's like another attachment on the same oblique
block. My wamu.
Dude, this is literally highway to Oslo.
Oh.
I'm not even kidding. The fucking highway in the middle, this is highway to Oslo from Wargame. The fuck?
Yep. Oh, this MiG here is sideways. There we go.
Like when you're driving on that, it just gives me a highway to Oslo vibe.
Yep. So, this thing is fast as fuck. Let's see if it can break Mach though. I think it's capable.
No, it's a subsonic. It's not sonic.
Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see, boys.
Wait, there's another ERA package for the Ariete?
Yeah, it's not
we've
ERA,
hit 0.9.
Metal.
Okay. Never.
It really pisses me off that it doesn't have the fucking.
Okay, we're not gonna go mocking this thing on the deck at least. I could climb up.
The MGs get gun shields.
Yep.
Yeah,
so that is a lot of stuff. And meanwhile, you may be asking at this point, John, why is there so much new modern stuff? Where's my World War II stuff? World War II stuff it is, asshole, as we go to Italy, and an aircraft long awaited by Italian fans, the 2005.
The Aragane 2005.
Yes, so
I am so excited for that.
Yes, this is a plane I've been waiting for.
I wonder what's inside. I'm so excited.
So this aircraft, it's a rank 4 at 5.0, so...
Oh, it's only a 5.0?
It's only a 5.0.
Oh, that's disgusting.
That is disgusting. Has wing-mounted 20 mils. I think it has a motor cannon with more guns, and it also has 50 cals. So you have a total of 3 cannons and 2 50 cals all on board. And this bad boy right here.
And probably some of the best maneuverability in a 5.0 vehicle.
Theoretically. It's somewhere in between a Spitfire and a 109. So it probably has the better top speed of a 109 or the energy retention of one, but it has the better maneuverability of a Spitfire. Spootfinger. I don't know. We'll call it a
Spootfanger.
We'll call it a Spootfanger. There we go. That's what we call Spitfires now. Spootfangers.
Well, I don't think you need to test fly this one.
No, we're gonna test fly it. Fuck you. Fuck you. We're testing this.
Says everyone in the chat, right?
Yeah.
John, you're making everyone read. They want China #1.
China number one. Okay, so test fly. Let's at least get an idea of how this thing flies because, again, I've been waiting for this aircraft ever since seeing the Italians.
Yeah, ever since the Italian air tree email, I was like, "Where's the 2005 boys?"
And also, I'm happy to see that's in the tech tree and not a premium. Thank you, guys.
It's got the same engine as a 109 G6 or
yeah, but it has it has a wing profile similar to that of a Spitfire. This is about as close as we're ever going to get to a Messer Spitfire. So hush. And yeah, so there is such a thing as a Messer Spitfire. It was a Spitfire Mark V outfitted with the nose end
DB.
of. It was outfitted basically with the nose of a G6 109, and essentially, yeah, it was just a Spitfire with a Daimler Benz engine and had performance similar to that of. Wait, are those jet aircraft or bombers? No, those are bombers. Also,
Why?
they changed to sounds as well again. So, approaching.
What really
these
makes me
bombers.
depressed about the PSO Arietti, I just want to comment
go
about
back
that.
very quickly to the whatchamacallit, the F-89. Its air brakes are its ailerons,
Yep.
which
Also,
is really weird design, but really
let's
cool.
see
at the
how
same
this
time.
sounds now with aircraft buzzing a group of aircraft here.
But what was I saying? Yeah, the Arietti PSO, even with the second PSO
Whoa.
upgrade, would make it better. I actually consider
What
it
targets
worse
are
than
you guys bombing?
I consider it worse than the
you
first
zoom
production
in, they got
Arietti.
their payload. The AI do it in game
Yeah.
as well.
So really, also the sound of aircraft now. Holy shit! So let's just pretend that these are penal pilots.
But
Oh.
comrade, we don't know how to fly jet.
Oh, there's somebody driving around in a Type
Too bad,
75.
alert.
His name, guys, Arado Akbar is in his Type 75 fucking artillery piece.
Okay, so this is a placeholder cockpit, clearly, but this thing has
Oh
a
my
really
God,
good.
bro.
It has a roll rate that
God.
feels a lot like a. It feels like a Spitfire's roll rate at a higher speed. It doesn't. It has. This is a roll rate without the rudder and then a snap roll. So
I
a bit faster. Yep. So Italiano plane with very good hard-hitting armament, has very good maneuverability. Oh my god. Oh, it has really good. Oh, it has really good combat flaps too. Oh boy.
Can I just make a comment about the Arietti again before I go out to dinner?
Okay.
Stop fucking
No.
nagging me in this traitor.
Yeah, we know.
I don't
I mean,
care.
look at
fucking
look at
traitor.
that Panther. It has no skirts. It's so lovely.
I don't know what the
It's a
turn
fucking
time
traitor
of this
to the
area this Regane is about 18
Oh
seconds.
my god,
so
the
similar
PA
to
bomb sound. Rip me. I'm
Rip
dead.
me. You're dead.
I'm not dead. Wow, okay, they nerfed the
All
bomb
right,
again.
so that's the one World War II aircraft that we're getting, at least for that isn't a copy paste. We'll see that in a moment, or at least that isn't necessarily copy paste. There are unique ones. So anyway, in the line of copy paste, so Fiat Vampire, a CL-13 that hasn't gotten its Italian skin yet, so we don't care, and a Italian F-86K. Okay, that's it.
Okay, I
So-
go cry.
All right. Now then, I think with all of that out of the way, we can finally
Actually,
go
what
look
guns does
at
the CL have
this big red
for
button
these
that
guns?
just suddenly appeared. So here's a joke: the fact you know why they put Japan, China, and Italy together is because they all have pasta.
What guns does
Yeah,
the
sue me.
Italian?
Got
what
your
does
lo
the
mein over
Italian-
here. You got your yakisoba noodles over here, and then you got your spaghetti bolognese over here.
I'd say the
All right.
PSO Arietti is actually
So-
worse than the production
what
because the
50
production
cals
gets
does
that
the
better.
So
turnaround.
welcome to China Tech Tree, which is a
China
tech
number
tree.
one.
China #1, and this tech tree
China
was
number one.
originally exclusive to the Chinese War Thunder client, which was being run under license by Tencent. You know, those same assholes. So we could go all day on and about Tencent, but from what I understand, and I can't say if this is true or not, but it appears Gaijin's licensing with Tencent ran out, and they apparently had the better part of the bargain. If you would shut up for a moment. But so basically, Steelwolf, motherfucker. And
I did
it's-
ask if I could make a comment, but whatever.
Yeah, no. So essentially, this is essentially the result of Gaijin going, we have an entire tech tree that is no longer exclusively to another client. Now we can add it in, and now that means there's 8 nations in the game. That's surprising.
It's
Also,
fake news, John.
fake
It's all
news.
fake news.
What are you, Trump?
Suck a
now?
hash.
This has been the worst trade deal of War Thunder's history.
Oh,
all
shut the hell up. In your
This
prime
is the
minister.
worst trade deal and perhaps the worst of trade deals ever. Perhaps ever
Yeah.
of trade deals.
All right, so
Ever.
let us look at. So obviously, there's a lot of copy pasty stuff, but let's look at the aircraft that's actually unique, because there is actually quite a few aircraft that are different from that aren't in the tree. For example, this weird thing, and I think this is the CW-21. I think it's a Curtiss aircraft, if I'm right.
Yeah, it's the Curtiss.
Curtiss Wright 21, CW-21.
It's a really weird looking plane, but it's supposed to perform really well.
The Curtiss Wright Interceptor. It was known, apparently its nickname was the Demon. So, the Curtiss Wright Demon. Demon! It's a demon! What is this, Halo now?
Yes.
So, battle rating 1.7, has 2 50 cals and 2 7.7s.
I think it's 2 50s and 2 7.7s at a 1.7 BR. That's kind of standard fare.
Good. Yeah, it's standard fare for
planes.
Yeah, that's standard fare for most
usually
American
you have
aircraft.
330s and 150.
Yeah.
No, there's a few planes would have two. The P-36s have.
Also, I'm enjoying the fact that
P-36A has 1 and 1, P-36C has 1 and 3, and P-36G is at 2, 3. So.
So let's see. So we now also can see the Chinese pilot. The Chinese pilot looks oddly German for some reason. Yeah.
Because they sent them a whole bunch of because Germany sent them a whole bunch of shit like aircraft clothes and.
Yeah, so they look
there
like
were SS uniforms in fucking China when Japan was invading, John.
Oh no, and then there were still a stash of SS uniforms and weapons that were in Korea, and an American unit had the silly idea of putting them on and running around North Korea, capturing prisoners and scaring the shit out of North Koreans because they saw Germans, and the West German embassy was called by China and I think the Soviet Union going, why the hell are there Germans over there? And they're going, what Germans? Huh? What? That's funny.
This is what happens when
the
Germany
fuck are you mentioning?
So let's see.
Because what the deal is with that is Germany actually owned a port city in China back then, and then they sold it off to China because they lost it because Japan was
so
like.
This is the
we're
little.
taking China.
Oh god, that's a tree.
Good at getting closer
that's
to
the ground.
trees,
Okay, this thing. Okay, this is a very forgiving aircraft to fly. Also, the one disclaimer here, so the Chinese tech tree, their flight models for a lot of these aircraft, these should be the actual flight models except for the newer jets, because again, this was on another completely different client, so these are not completely brand new models. These models have been existing for well over like a year and a half now, if I'm right, or more. So something like
Chinese War Thunder's been like a thing
for a while now.
Chinese War Thunder
about 3 years now, yeah.
Yeah.
4 years.
4 years. So these models are not new at all. They've just been imported to the international thing, which, you know, some player, I don't necessarily have a qualm with that because we get to see some, sure, besides all the copy paste, the more unique stuff like this plane, because this thing maneuvers real damn well.
You can probably
holy hell, this thing it feels like a more stable KI-43. Which is nice.
And you can belly land that easily because of how the
landing gear works. And it's an earlier model. I think later models had a different style of landing gear looking at the pictures.
That Type 69 scares me.
You see that thing? It scares me. Anyway,
No,
so... also, China does have a premium as well. China does have a premium as well as in the form of the Hawk 3. So this is a much earlier aircraft from Curtiss. We're not going to fly it out, but it is a biplane, a very interesting biplane. It's only, up until now, has only been seen in like various YouTuber videos of aircraft on the Chinese server that you can't get on your server. Now you can!
Unless you're fly daily, you make a video every so often.
Yeah.
Unless you somehow get access to the Chinese server with a fake pass.
That guy really needs to change his name from Fly Daily to Tank Daily.
Tank Daily. So we have a premium Tomahawk here. So the H-81A2. So this is basically a flying type.
I have it. It's basically a P-40B, if you want to know.
Yeah, it's basically the P-40B.
P-40B with a slightly better engine.
Yeah, so it has the improved. So it's a later block of the early Tomahawks. So this is truly a proper flying tiger of the early period.
Mm-hmm.
So
of
this
the
is
actual volunteer group. That's probably
the actual volunteer group.
77 actually. It's one of the 5 aces of the early group.
Yep. So this is an actual flying tiger plane. So that's cool. It's really good. I would fly it out, but it is a P-40.
It doesn't get the 60 million camos though.
So
that's upsetting.
Yep, 60 million camos. Chinese P-40 that's just straight up in a. Apparently,
what I find really interesting about that P-40E though is that it has a Republic of China camo on it, which looks oddly really well.
Yep.
It looks quite good on the
P40. It's a very bright, it's a very bright green color. It's actually really nice.
No, it's not a bright green. It's a rich green. It's
like
a rich forest
actually,
green.
next up is the P66. So here's another weird.
That thing looks fun.
P66. So what is this?
Why does it look like
okay, so the Volti P66 Vanguard. It was another aircraft built for the US, but then it was originally the US. This was originally a contract for Sweden.
It looks like a Corsair. Like the body looks like the body looks identical to a Corsair. The wing's wrong, but the body is like Corsair.
Kind of. So the story, according to Wikipedia, is that this aircraft was developed actually on order for Sweden, but by 1941, America was like, you guys are giving iron to the. So the P66s were originally
that was for Sweden,
but America's like, you guys are giving steel to Germany, and you guys are a neutral country, so you know what? We're not giving you these aircraft. Fuck you. So, unfortunately, the aircraft were pressed into for defensive and training purposes. A large number were sent to China, and with very indifferent flight results. So they weren't. I'm looking at the Wikipedia. Apparently, a bunch of them were destroyed because they were mistaken to be Ki-43s and Ki-44s.
Understandable.
Oh no.
So it had this aircraft had a higher top speed than Japanese aircraft.
When 50 start raining down on a P66, oh no.
Yeah. While this thing has a higher top speed than other Japanese aircraft, it could not win in dogfights. So it had to do boom and zoom. It had to do zooming maneuvers on enemy aircraft. So
wonder how it's going to perform in game.
Yep. So
you think it's going to be competitive?
Oh, let's see. Responsive right off the bat. It has a very nice like lift off. Like I can just pull it right off the ground and it goes. So, oh god, this thing has the turning radius of a small zip code, or at least a smaller zip code, not the zip codes that we see with our Mach 2 jets. But I can see the deficiencies already. I can feel them. Like it has a very kind of.
The tail is Corsair.
Yeah. It's very, has a very, very... Why the fuck did Sweden want these things?
Because Sweden is Swedish.
Swedish.
They would have taken 109 engines.
So I think it has two... Also, I think the armament's 250 cals and 4 7.7s, I guess.
It's the same as a P-36G armor. It's just P-36G that's more of a boom and zoomer.
Yeah, so... This is not necessarily a bad aircraft either. It's just, again, there's a reason why we didn't use these anywhere. Probably a good thing the Swedish didn't get these. Oh, those gun sounds in the cockpit have changed too. They're not as, they're not like cuttingly punchy. They're more like, it's more like.
Hey, good Durgan.
Hey, good Durgan.
Hinga dinga durg. So flying this through, I should be paying attention to the comments. Holy shit!
I'm basically just grinding out the American tree.
1.91 already up. This is the dev server.
Man, show us the 829.
This is the development server. Having fun on the development server.
Development server. And
sorry,
we have been up for an hour and a half.
I stopped reading comments.
What the? Can we? Yeah, that now it goes. Okay, so now we're back in the hangar. So what's next up here? So where's the A29?
Apparently there's a...
Okay, so the A29. So it is a Hudson.
Oh yeah, don't forget to share the...
Yeah, it's just a Hudson with different...
With different guns. So Brownings, it
different
has...
gun placements.
Different gun placements. Oh, it has a 50 cal on the back. That's nice. Straight up a 50 cal on the back. Can carry... Its only bomb load armament is 4 250 kilogram or 250 pound bombs and 600 pounds. So, boomer. Oh, and the Martin, earlier Martin bomber. This is actually a premium in the U.S. tree, but now is in the Republic of China's service. So this one just has 3 Brownings. You'll be seeing a lot of that. We're not going to look.
No longer premiums.
Mm-hmm. So a whole bunch of these. Basically, the rest of the tree is, well, you know what you would expect.
Japanese, Russian.
Russian, American, here and there. The one thing we'll
British,
look at is
the one British plane.
the one unique aircraft, like, or at least the one so this is the P-51K. The U.S. does not have a P-51K in their service. I think it has a different prop, but apparently these props were not very good. So most P-51Ks were switched back to a different prop. So
Yeah,
so
propellers,
Taiwanese
and I think P-51s have
one.
3.
Here they do get this MiG-17, as I understand it. This is a MiG-17 that is a premium, the premium one that carries missiles and also has an afterburning engine.
Actually, what's the Tu-4 armed with? Is it just a copy and paste, or does it actually have like shit of guns?
Nope, it's same armament. So 23 mils everywhere.
Oh, gay.
Yep, kind of gay.
That repair cost though.
I'll see you guys later.
Yep, see ya.
So,
Repair cost. Okay, so moving on. So basically, we go through. They're mostly
they also
Soviet
get the
jets.
Japanese Saber.
Yeah, the Japanese Saber, the Taiwanese, and then we have the. So we will now look at the jet at the end of this tree. That is the J-72. So there is actually a very interesting story that goes along with the Chinese MiG-21. So the Shenyang. So it's known. Its full name is the Shenyang Aircraft Works J-7. The J-7 is a MiG-21, obviously, but as the story goes, so by this point in time, Stalin and Mao had a falling out known as the Sino-Soviet split. And in 1962, so China's still feeling a bit bitter after this. In 1962, Nikita Khrushchev wrote to Mao Zedong suddenly out of nowhere and said, "Hey, we want to give you the technology to build the MiG-21." China, completely, utterly suspicious at this point of such a random offer for such an advanced aircraft of the time period, they're like, okay. 5 months later, the Chinese had found that the MiG-21Fs that they were given, there were missing parts that weren't even relevant to the aircraft, and 8 design documents that went missing. They were just not given. And of course, China, knowing that's like, well, we just got fucked by the Russians. What do we do now? They proceed to reverse engineer the living hell out of the aircraft, succeeding in solving over 249 major problems with the original MiG-21, including major flaws with the hydraulic systems, and they also reproduced 8 technical design documents that were not provided by the Soviet Union. Essentially a giant middle finger to Russia. But of course, the Cultural Revolution and other things happening inside of China didn't allow this aircraft to be produced in mass numbers right off the bat, and by the time they did get these into mass numbers, it was kind of starting to look outdated. Thus is the story of how Russia was being a bunch of dickheads to China. So, this aircraft, the J-72, I think it has an even better engine in it. It does carry 2 guns, and it also has slightly less armament in the form of 2 air-to-air missiles only, and 2 bombs, but really, this is technically the better MiG in a lot of ways, but also at supersonic speeds, you really do want to carry the missiles as a backup armament to your guns. You only get 120 rounds for these guns, so a bit more hitting power.
More ammo than the...
Yeah, still more ammo than the original MiG-21. We will fly this one out, though. So you do have to unlock it like regular, but it is, it's another tech tree. People will get down to the end of this tech tree one way or another because, it's different. Oh, that's a bug. That's a bug. That's new. Okay, so that's a bug that needs to be fixed. Oh. Oops. Oh. Yeah.
I didn't need that
Good
tail
job.
section anyway.
Yeah, I didn't need that tail section. But, oh boy, one of my tail rudders is just acting up. But, yeah, this jet is also, it's a new model as well. So, this is one of those models that it might not have the... Again, don't pull up so hard when you're taking off. Get up to speed and then gently lift off. That's what I should have done.
Nah, you want to go 80 degrees.
80-degree climb. Here we go again. Yeah, we're just gonna give it a nice loop over there. I will say it's handling this much better. I'll say though, it's handling that maneuver a lot better. So that's noticeable. But they do need to fix. Again, this is why this is the dev server. That's not supposed to be how that works. The model is not supposed to be doing that, but the flight model is unaffected.
Yeah, no, that's how the plane works. That's the elevator, and the other side just the wing.
An additional wing. Alright, let's see what's the tracking range on this thing. Not very.
So when you get that part
also, can we just find it funny that we're also shooting down a MiG? Stupid Russian in my territory. Get out!
Go home. Go home, GI.
That's racist!
Go home. Go home,
that's racist! Stupid Rusky in my territory.
When the Americans capture a MiG and take off the test flight,
and
like, out of my
boom! Oh my god, the sound of a jet exploding is so much more satisfying now. Holy shit. It's amazing.
Okay, there's too many Yukabaris in this chat. I don't like it. It scares me.
Oh great, so there we have great, we have
now they're
great, there's Gap Hag and Tanker. Great.
Now there are two of them. This is getting out of hand.
This is getting out of hand. Alright, so that is the Chinese tech tree in the Air Force side in a nutshell. Because we're not looking at every friggin' aircraft. But at least that is the unique aircraft that they have. Because these are just, I guess, they're later jet aircraft.
Marks.
Or more unique than others. At least the unique ones in the early
the H5
tree.
get?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Really? Really? I was wondering if it got the 3,000.
Alright, so that is their aviation tree. Now onto the tank tree. So what is there of things that we can look at that are actually unique?
The Sherman.
First off, the M40, the M3A3 Stuart. So this is a later model of Stuart that has a sloped hull rather than the hull. So I guess they were just trying to make manufacturing simpler. So 1.7.
It actually makes the tank better.
Yeah, it does make the tank better. So it's a better tank at its tier. Angled armor. Ooh. So
that reload of 3.7.
Actually, it's 10 times better because it's actually at a lower BR than the others.
Yep. Also, next up here is the M4A4. So this is the M4A4. This was mainly an export tank. People keep saying, "Oh, it should be in the U.S. street." No, the U.S. never produced these for themselves. Actually, it also has an incorrect engine too. But the true M4A4
we don't talk about that.
has, as we've already seen with the British Firefly, should have this weird fuck all multi-bank engine. But this thing has a radial. So this is a Chinese one. So this is just an M4 with a 75mm M3 cannon.
Can't wait to kill it with a Tiger.
Yep, can't wait to kill it with a Tiger. Speaking of
then I will
so like Pokemon, so we have first, so this is the one you capture first of Tiger Shermans. So you get this Tiger Sherman here that is based on a picture, I think, of an actual Chinese Sherman. In use by the Chinese at one point. It's very interesting camo though. It's not I will say it's not meant to be the most serious Tiger, unlike a certain German decal. Anyway, so of course we have that, and of course that means that just like Pokemon, if you introduce it to some sort of stone, it does an evolution and then it evolves into M46 Tigor. That's a terrible meme. Okay. So the trees for China is I would say this is an interesting way of like, do you like Soviet tanks or American tanks? So American tanks make up the early part of the tree.
And the two Japanese.
Tanks. Then as you go up the tree, it starts being Soviet. So we had the clear. So we have Republic of China. Republic of China.
By the way,
then suddenly becomes
PT-76.
PT-76.
Is not the same as the American one.
Yeah. So which one? The
M4 A176 F50 has a 5
it's
above the PT. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it has a 75 gun, but it says 76.
It's probably bugged.
Barrel.
So that's an interesting tank. Yeah.
Wrong gun.
Wrong gun.
Wrong name.
That's that is a weird tank.
5-0.
I guess they didn't have the 76. They had to find a 75 and shove it in there.
Wait a minute. Did someone just say the M18 for China is 4.7?
What?
No, it's 5.3. I'm about to say. No, it's 5.3.
Oh, it's arcade.
No, it's not 4.7.
Oh, it's arcade. Tank arcade. Tank realistic.
Say.
There we go. 5.3. It's that because it's realistic. Also, they changed the menu. Ooh. So there's now a fancy menu when you pull up for instead of a drop down tab. Okay. So you kind
something tells me it's not done.
Okay, so not done. Anyway, so let's look at the actual unique vehicles in their trees, starting with the Type 63.
T-3485.
So
T-3485.
this is a local project of how can we make the PT-76 better. They decided, screw that little crappy gun that the PT-76 has. Let's actually put an 85mm gun and a kind of a proper turret. So some people have test driven this vehicle in the past, but we're gonna go take a gander at it.
Fun fact, that turret armor has less armor than BMP2's turret.
Oof. It looks like it's welded
Doesn't
together
matter,
too.
you're still
It looks like,
ricochet.
looking at the turret, it looks like it was cast in pieces and then welded together.
It was. It
Yeah.
was.
Also,
Doesn't
their
matter, Serbian,
test,
somehow you're
their
still
test,
ricochet.
Of course.
apparently they really hate the Japanese because it's all Japanese tanks.
Well, whatever nation are they going to be fine?
Again, the Type 96 still scares me.
Yep. Let's see.
Take a look at
yeet.
the T-34 43. That's
So,
a 57
podonk.
T-34.
The sound of a podonk, but let's hear the gun sounds now. Here.
Yeah, see, they made like a change to like really. It sounds so nice.
Ooh. Wow. Holy. That's a different sound. So it's not just like there's definitely, it feels like it definitely is a difference compared to what would be on the live server right now. So a lot of things are getting fixed. That's all I gotta say. There is a lot of things being fixed.
Since it's an 85 and a PT-76, does it get like a different, what rounds does it get? Does
It has
its
the BR,
bullshit
it has
B
BR,
round?
it doesn't get, I don't think it has a bullshit heat. Nope, it doesn't have a bullshit heat round. Oh wait. Well, okay, never mind.
It
There is a bull.
does.
Yep, there is. It's over there. That needs to be fixed. Okay.
Wait,
That
do they
needs-
actually have a scroll? Oh my
Yeah,
god, they do.
they do. So it has that heat round. Okay, so this is the
Oh,
one
it's at
unique
6.3,
model.
that makes sense.
Let's see. So what is the next like tanks that are actually Chinese? Here.
T-34, 85,
The GKai. Dude, the GKai.
GK,
GKai,
above
so
the IS-2.
improved. So that's a BMP
Oh.
1. Okay, so the T-3485 GKai, or no, actually it's T-3485 Guy, which is improved.
Guy.
So it would be like saying Kai. So essentially,
Chinese
this is
make gun, though.
this is a modernized T-34 with a big ass fucking 50 cal on the top. So it's a little bit more useful, I guess, in certain situations. But otherwise, it's a T-34 with a 50 cal on the top.
It's a Chinese made gun
next-
as well,
next one
so
you
should
yeah,
look
that's
at the
velocity.
Type-
And a Chinese made gun, the ZIS 553 cannon, which is, ZIS 553. So it's different, but it is generally a T-34.
What do they keep saying about the T-34? Is that a 57 model, or is it just a normal T-34 1943?
What?
I think it might be.
1943?
It's
Oh,
No,
modernized.
it's a
I think.
T-34 1943.
that's literally what I
All
just
right.
said.
So let's
There's
see.
no
Look it
difference
down.
with it.
So basically, the
Oh.
tech tree breaks down into two parts. It breaks down into Taiwan somewhere, or just a mixture of Taiwan and red tanks, and then so on and so forth. So they do get a
Actually-
M60A3 TTAS, but the more interesting tank is the CM11, which, if I'm right, the CM11 is known as the Brave Tiger.
Yes.
Just a second though, John.
Yeah, CM11.
Before you do anything, did they fuck up and give the IS-2 mod 44
We'll look
pre-war
at that.
round?
We'll look at that in just a moment. So
So that's the thing. What needs to be like looked at if that thing
Yeah,
has its
so
pre-war.
this is an
after war
M60.
ammo.
This is an
No.
M60 tank with a fuck ton of a very different ERA arrangement, very large ERA arrangement. So, bit different. Stabilized gun and a 105 round. It's dart. It does come with dart ammunition. 735. starts out with about 342
and then
millimeters, and then its other dart goes up to nearly 500 at 500 meters, and it has night vision as well. But of course, we'll just take the tank out to look at, because this is a very different tank. It is an M60. Yeah, but having the 50 cal on a T-34 is never a bad idea. Of course, Russia never did that, and during the war. Ooh,
because they didn't have 14.5s.
We thought about it.
Okay.
No, because the 14.5 Dishka didn't exist in that format after World War II.
Yeah. All right. So, also the sound of the guns firing from behind the tank. So. Ooh.
What do you mean the Tu-4 has a what the fuck?
So, basically an M60, but with a proper stabilized gun, which makes it fairly good. Oh, Leopard 2A5.
Well, it's basically like a ride, except it's
yeah,
a bit
yeet.
better.
Fuck you, 2A5. Jerk.
So apparently the Tu-4 has a 6,000 repair cost.
Also, is the sound inside the turret has been changed as well? Because
yeah,
106.800.
Actually, no, it's not a 10.0 gun at 9.0. No, it's a 105mm gun that actually gets a new round. So it's actually a round that's going to 9.0.
Yep. So yeah, the sounds inside definitely the sounds have been improved in many ways, but this is just such a weird. The ERA pack is just very weird looking.
It works though.
It works
better
though.
than the Rises actually.
Yeah. So
angle the turret quick enough, and you'll be able to eat around.
Yeah, eat
Pretty
around.
much.
Pretty much. So that's the Brave Tiger at 9.0. Here, next up is the Ayoshi. Kata RP is now following. Thank you. Here we go. So next up is the Type 69.
Type 90. No, Type 96, please. Type 60. Sorry.
So Type 69, which is a T-54, if I'm right, essentially.
T-54.
It has a stabilizer in it, 7.7.
Yeah, it's a T-54 1951.
And its default round is APFDS.
And its default round is APDS. So it's basically a better, air quotes, T-54.
I would say, air quotes, I'm going to flat out and say it is a better T-54. It's the same armor and everything.
Yeah, apparently, though, the dart round isn't as good. For a starting dart round, it's not very good, but again, it's a stabilized. It has a stabilizer, and it's running around with a dart round. So this makes it. This nation is just interesting. I guess it's not like it's bad. It's just different, I guess. So it's at 7.7. So yeet.
Look at the pen on the dart round though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 200.
Yeah, it's not particularly great, but it is going through the front of most tanks. So it's not like it's not that bad. Yeah, it went straight through apprentices. It's not bad, but against an actual Soviet Tonka over there, we'll see.
But with the tanks at 7.7 kind of having no armor,
yeah, no armor,
pretty well.
Yeah, it works really well. So, Gaijin confirmed, no, they are not bought by China. Gaijin would never ever want to sell out the 10 cent. Fuck no. They licensed War Thunder to 10 cent because Chinese laws dictate blah blah blah. You can't just you have to make a game for their market.
Is that a laser range? Oh my god, it gets a laser range.
It does get a laser rangefinder and an IR light as well. So this is a very cheesy Soviet. This is a very cheesy Chinese tank.
Type 69 is very.
It's gonna 69 all over the place. That's for sure. And now, next up after this, after the Type 69 is the ZTZ 59D1. What the hell is this?
Basically, you can say it's like one of the first versions of like a T-55 AM, except shittier.
Yeah. It's China's version of it without actual armor. It's just ERA.
Yeah, so essentially another. Also, the can't. Also, another thing to know. The other thing to know is that it has a rifled 105. Huh?
Yeah.
Immediately. Wait, what? It went from 100mm to 105, because apparently China just really likes to copy everyone, not just
They like taking all the good aspects.
They like
Japan.
Yeah, they do. China has this, especially when we start to see the later MBTs, especially stuff that we've seen in Armored Warfare. I think like the WZ 1227. I think that would be a fun tank. It was pretty good in Armored Warfare. I think this actually, if you look in one of my playlists, it's one of the like Armored Warfare videos in a playlist that you can look up of like the old Gentleman's Hangar montages. I was driving around in a Chinese tank with a friend. That was a very easy match that we won. But this essentially is a Russian tank. This is, I guess, the one thing I can think of immediately is the Israeli Tyran T-54s and T-55s, where they stuck 105mm L7s and a whole bunch of other things because Israel.
For whatever reason.
Yep. So let's try this guy out, and this guy starts out with a dart. For 8.7, has a very good dart, starting off with 375mm of pen, and I think
everyone's saying the L44's cancer.
Yeah,
Fucking
and
China.
that is the only dart it gets.
We got dart rounds.
And it starts off with that dart round, and that's the only dart round it gets. So it doesn't get anything worse. Air quotes. So
still
technically,
an M60.
Still
slow.
It's
the
slow.
L44 will have the advantage of concealment and speed.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's the premise, though. Everyone bitches about the L44 having a 10-0 gun. Meanwhile, this thing comes in and has APFS DS.
Calm down.
Shut up, Soviet.
I know your dick is big, but calm
Settle
down.
down, Dick. It's just a storm.
Bigger than yours.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is so
plug in my
kinky.
playlist. Yeah, I can plug my playlist. It's my goddamn channel. Engineer. Who's this
By the
other?
way, that Rick...
Wait, Prep Quill, when did you teach a kangaroo to fly an aircraft?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Apparently.
By the way, John, you didn't notice because you looked away. That ricochet on the M60 or the M48, there's actually a tracer for the ricochet.
Oh, that's new.
It always kind of has been. It's just
That's
not
been.
as-
Yeah, no, but it was.
I will say though,
visible than
stock
it used
this
to be.
turret traverse is garbage. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, welcome
like,
to a heavy patent turret.
Yeet.
What? Wait, what? No, it's a patent turret.
Oh, sorry. I thought you guys were calling
high?
the patent.
We're not looking.
No.
The CM, the Brave Tiger had a pretty decent turret traverse. This thing just is slow as hell. But this is the first time where we kind of see future Chinese tanks will start to take up this theme of Western and Eastern ideas being kind of mixed together, because they realize that
China #1.
But China just decides, you know what, we want to make tanks our own way, not just I wonder if that grid armor on the back could protect against heat or detonate heat rounds before it hits.
It does.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
accidentally shot someone and it detonated.
Yep. I'll say though, that dart is fairly lethal. So this tank, at least starting off, a lot of these Chinese tanks, they're not bad starting off. They get good armament, good rounds. So you're not suffering through a shit grind. At least in terms of you're not having to unlock a round, that's better. That'll actually make you competitive. You have a good enough round for all the work that you can do.
Oh my god.
So
by the way,
otherwise,
what's
is there?
the name
Oh
of
wait,
it?
right. And also, yes, there is also a Chinese Type 62.
Is the one right before the Type 69 have
But of course, it has even more camo options than the one that.
This guy in chat
Type
asking
69
what
have a
state
shape
I'm
right
in.
No, it does not.
This Australian in chat asked what state I'm in. I'm in Victoria, my.
Yeah.
The shittest state in all of Australia. It does nothing but fucking rain or be cold.
You're cold. Cold in bed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why your humor is fucking cold.
All right, so that
Cold
is
dark.
the Chinese tree in a shell nut.
Practical 3 cannon gun pods
So-
are fucking broke.
Okay, so now we will go into a custom. Steel Wolf, you still have a custom battle running, right?
Yeah, I'll reset it up. At this point, I'm kind of disappointed actually that there is no normal operation for air battles in Vietnam.
Oh, they will probably change that at some point, but
Here's a sad thought: the M1A1 does not get thermal.
oof.
Did not get
Oh,
thermal.
you didn't show off thermal, John.
Oh, which tanks have thermal? So I can show off.
T80U has one, so I would go do
T80 no
that.
you. T80 no you. Okay.
By the
Yes.
way, everyone, the
Alright.
Panther 2 has night vision, and they said that wouldn't get it immediately, and they fucking lied.
Oh wait, it has night vision.
Yeah, the Panther 2 has night vision.
They said it was getting added a late. Wait.
Oh wait, what other tanks have IR? By the way,
So wait, did they add it then?
Yes, it's in the game.
Wait, what other tanks also get thermal? By the way, other than the T80?
Yeah, I don't know why.
T80B.
Ariete.
That's like literally about it for right now. I think. Oh wait, the Leclerc also gets it.
Ariete gets thermal.
Okay, I'll bring the Ariete out.
Why doesn't the Abrams get it? That's kind of odd.
That's weird.
I don't know. I think it's probably
so
above.
the Ariete,
Yeah, I think it is
will
too,
use the
'cause I have the
Ariete
NVD
because it's
upgrade.
conveniently already unlocked, and I can just go NVDs.
You don't have
Bitch.
you haven't unlocked the thermal and all that shit on it. So
No, I just did. So it's all unlocked just now before I join server. So we're gonna check out some new maps as well. So I'm going Italiano, mamma mia. I'm gonna go in there. So we're gonna be checking out Cargo Port, which is the first of the new maps for ground battles, which is, as I understand it, this is a very flat map, right?
It is very flat.
Cargo
and
port.
Very many corridors.
Many corridors.
I have a feeling it's just gonna end up being Rhine 2.0.
It is Rhine 2.0.
And
already.
wait, no. What's that World of Tanks map with the railroad on the left side that's usually at low tier? Because I just got that vibe.
I actually know. All I think of is
they
Armored
didn't
Warfare.
remove the Panther 2. They just moved it to the premium. Yes, they moved it to the premium thing, but when the update comes out, you will no longer be able to research it. So if you're at like a Tiger 2, no, a Tiger 1H, and you're like at 3347, and you're making your way up the tree, you're not going to be able to get the Panther 2 up.
Night vision.
No, and never mind. Abrams does have thermal. It's
How do you turn
Why
on?
is it not safe for its upgrade?
Huh?
Why is it not safe for its upgrade?
Because there is no thermal and night vision modification for the Abrams.
Night,
it's just
day,
NVD.
night, day, night,
they're
day,
not
night,
separate.
day.
Okay.
But it's also disgustingly blurry, and I
Yeah, it
remember
is.
the thermal for the T80U
The
not being
Leclerc, the Leclerc is very, very, very clear.
Night.
It has the highest.
So you got third-person night vision. So first and foremost, the map is very flat, so there's no bullshit. I guess like some of the other urban, air quote urban maps they added, where it's like there's a slight elevation where you could cross map snipe people. Hell no, not this time. So a lot of content. Get that gay shit.
Yeah, it gets
Whoa.
gets wall banged.
ammo logistics.
Yeah, you can see tracers during nighttime.
Shoot the containers with your machine guns.
Ricochets. Nice.
Oh, the machine guns have new sounds.
At least the Abrams engine has a better.
Yeah. I'm just trying.
If you could look up, John.
Here's
John,
another video idea that I
if
want
you look
to.
up back to your rear, actually, you'll see tracers from the AA base shooting at the aircraft.
Yep, I see that. That's really cool.
This is a
really nice map already. So.
Where are you, John? What grid?
Especially if you live in Melbourne, the fucking weather changes every like 3 minutes.
Where are you? I'm on. I'm not going in the right. Okay, so this is what the actual map looks like and spawns. So we looked at. So I think on the stream they were like going, "Oh, what are those spawns? This and that."
What grid square are
actually,
you?
the spawns are not bad. They're very separated, and there's a lot of buildings in between everything. So unless you physically run into their spawn, you're not gonna just little cross map people.
What grid square are you in?
I'm in E2 right now.
E2.
Yeah,
so let's check out the night vision.
I'm gonna have the only problem that's gonna come up because of night vision shit is you're gonna get a map like _ European province or folder, and there's someone is clearly gonna cross map ULQ with thermal.
Yeah.
Like you have to admit that will be a thing. What will happen?
I hear you, John. You're on the other side of the wall from me.
Wall bang him.
Well, we can't shoot through these containers, which is weird because they're actually extremely thin. And
yeah, I think they did that on purpose, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to see that
Behind
before
you. Can you turn off your engine, by the way? Actually, no, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do you have the thing?
Yeah, I have thermals on. So here's what thermals look like. So you can see.
Oh my god, it makes the aircraft jet engine turn off sound. What the fuck?
So when his engine is off, it's I can't see it. So turn your tank all the way rearward, or turn your engine back on and like put your. So as you can see, thermal. So his engine is on. You can see the bright. So let's see.
It's fucking accurate.
This is without night vision. This is night vision, and this is the other color for night vision. So turning off his engine, there is residual heat though. So
fun fact: they added new sound effects or new sound settings.
Oof.
For what?
Just new sound setting. I don't know exactly what it does, but apparently they added a new sound slider for something.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
It's at the very bottom.
Yeah.
There's tinnitus thing that's always been there.
Tinnitus has always been there. Yeah, no, tinnitus has always been there. Yes, it has been. So you just don't ever pay attention to anything. You play tanks.
I changed it. I changed
you haven't
it
paid
to see
attention
if
at all. You know how to turn off your engine. I
changed it to see if I noticed a difference, and I did not. And
so
my
let's
engine
see.
is off when
Let's
I
see what
spawn.
barriers we can't break down. Okay, you can't break down these barriers. At least pushing it. Shooting them does not also break them, so those are permanent barriers. So
why is the thermal so fuzzy? Oh my god, it hurts my eyes. Fucking hell.
It's not that fuzzy on John's side. What's weird?
Yeah, well, this is always the difference between me
Wait,
and
John,
Steel Wolf.
do it on your thing.
It doesn't look that fuzzy.
Do your thermal against the aircraft. See what happened.
Oh, right. So let's see. Thermals on aircraft. Oh, yeah, I can see him. Let's see, another aircraft as well. Yep, you can see a bright white streak coming in the sky here, so...
That's pretty cool.
Well, they added thermals to helicopters.
So this map is interesting, and so far, I don't think that I think this will be a pretty decent map. It's not going to be great.
There's got to be a
but
graphics
I do
setting.
like the fact that this map doesn't have any elevations going up and down like a lot of the other maps that have urban areas where you can cross maps.
So this is just going to be a map about angling your armor.
Angling your armor and actually just basically patiently waiting for tanks to come into the killing zones.
This will be the perfect maps for the Jagdpanther, the Jagdtiger, and the T95.
TDs will have a very good time in the hallways because there's no way in hell you're going to get around them unless you go all the way around, but then you'll probably run into somebody else on the way.
The American Super Heavy, the T95.
Yeah, that thing will take up the entire road. It will be a roadblock, essentially.
Yeah, that thing will be a roadblock, but it will be a shield what can't be fucking shot.
I'll say though, this map at night, and then you're running like thermals at night. Oh, thermals turn off for some reason, even though I turned it back on. On, damn it. So, that's thermals. Right there, so there's a lot of different... Like, can you leave the map? Maybe. Yeah.
Huh?
I wonder if I can leave the map.
Oh, what were the other changes?
Oh, damn it, Gaijin! Why you do this? Why you do this?
Yeah, that's what's shooting at the aircraft right now. Is the
I want to go over the bridge and go to the other side of the map, but Gaijin's like, no, you.
just wait for a user mission where someone puts a ramp or goes up and over that truck.
No, they just removed the truck.
Yeah.
Dang it, Gaijin, I demand that you remove the truck. I want to sit right there. I want to go up the ramp, damn it.
It's nice that they finally extended the Italy map to the north side like they originally advertised.
Oh, wow. Also, even in thermal vision, I can see your exhaust, and it's glowing. Fuck. So I can see your exhaust when you're running off.
You can't run from me now. Wait, what's that, one Overwatch character? I have you in my sight.
Soldier 76. Hello.
I got you in my sight.
Yeah.
So, this isn't I thought this was an airfield. No, this is a fucking highway. But, oh my god, you could land aircraft here.
Out of bounds.
You could land an aircraft here. Also, like, the sign just says port. Okay, so this is actually, I would think this is a good place to also do pen test. Like, I could see this place being useful for, like, actually checking pen testing on tanks, because this is just a long fucking straight line that has light lamps that you can demarcate. I could see people testing out vehicles here for actual doing sciencey things. And also, we could do tank drag races down this highway strip. Woo!
What is it, Aussie Kangaroo? I was in Melbourne at Moomba when the bloody Apex gang decided to raid the entire inside of the CBD. You know, that shit was fun.
All right, so let's fly over to. Let's get a flyover of the map. Oh god, that was a really weird explosion. So we're gonna bring.
I was gonna kill you with Zunies, you bitch.
You're a bitch.
You're a bitch.
They're actually I mean, it's kind of nice, but in a way, it's kind of gonna be hard to get used to. Is the fact that all the payload is angled down slightly.
Ooh.
Nah.
Okay. Someone asked, "Can I join?" What is that to? The Discord? The
for now, we're just looking at the maps because we're gonna try to end the stream sooner
These
than later.
planes are so big that they're icons in the team list. Like the MiG-21s just looks
All
like
right.
a fucking
Also, we could also make fun of. We could also do like I can see a parody of making. Oh, whoa, hello. Also, Mr. Let's see.
You can play
Why?
Flight
I don't know
Simulator
if
on
it's
the
a flight model
airfield
bug, but the game is pushing my aircraft into the ground.
Oh,
Yeah, I have an actual audible rear warning noise, by the way.
nice.
now.
That's cool.
Pulls up.
I don't know why, but the
missiles.
game is oddly.
Come on. Damn it. B models are. Okay, so this is a. Oh boy, so this is gonna be an interesting fight. Okay, so I'm not following you to that altitude because I know I'm not going to do anything at that altitude. I have to stay on the deck. Whoa! Who the fuck is that? Oh, that's an enemy aircraft. I can't see him. I'm completely blind. Oh, what hit me? Whoa! Uh-oh. Oh! Ooh, okay, I see what you mean.
This thing is so fucking weird. It like pushes me down.
Yeah,
So
because
odd.
it's not the correct flight model, but holy shit. The sound, I see what you mean by the rocket warning sound.
No,
so
yeah,
that's new.
I agree.
Did you get it too?
Yeah, I got it too, so that's cool.
Yeah.
They added that noise. Also, can I just land on the airfield here? Please don't shoot me. I want to go land on the airfield here.
Yeah, land on it. I am actually curious. That makes me want to test something.
What?
Kill him with Zunies.
No, not with Zunies. No, not
Are you gonna try to hit me with air-to-air missiles on
the
the
fact
ground?
that you know what's also funny about the Vulcan cannon? It's even air target.
Honestly, with this map too, we can really
target
start making some Ace Combat parodies on this map. We really can now.
Don't give away the idea.
The whatchamacallit,
Oh, hey, no, fuck you. Nyum.
what the fuck's it called?
The amount of AA on the ground is ridiculous. Holy hell.
My brain had a brain fart. I totally
All
forget what I
right,
was gonna
so
say now.
I know the G91. Is that supposed to be like the Sears Tower or something in model form?
Yes.
That's interesting. All right, so we're gonna instead of landing on, we'll see. Oh no,
Chime.
No, you can land on the airfield.
no, I'm gonna
see if we gun pods can push me back.
I'm gonna see if I can do. We're gonna do this instead. I said fucking landing flaps. What the hell? Oh, well, oh, this is gonna end badly. Ah!
No landing flat for you.
No landing flap for you. Okay, so that's this map. Okay, Steel Wolf, let's go check out I think that's the only ground map we're gonna check out.
Yeah.
So there are two.
I want to see real quick how well I can push the Phantom backwards with the.
I think there are two other maps, but they're both naval, because I know they might do another dev server on another day. No, they've been doing double dev servers for the past couple of times. So, yeah.
Well, three Vulcan cannons are a better air brake than a parachute.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. Okay, so I think that is everything
Look at your
that we can look at for today.
Capital.
Got it.
Kangaroo in chat, man. Yeah, I feel
I
bad.
can't
too,
push
man. That
myself
shit was-
back with this.
Boop you. All other aircraft, namely baller cockpits.
Yeah, these Vulcan cannons are legitimately a shotgun.
Yeah.
Like, fuck the MiG-15s used to be retarded shotguns.
Yeah. So anyway, here. So that has been the dev server. So once this is completely rendered and everything, you will be able to watch the entire thing and look at all the vehicles. I don't think I've missed anything.
Time to fucking ruin the live stream by saying the N-word.
Oh, shut up. Niagara Falls.
Fuck everyone watching. I'm gonna end this shit right now.
Fun fact.
Okay.
I'm about to end this man's whole career.
The F4 rips its wings at 1.3.
That's
Mach.
weird. So
What'd you say?
don't.
The stock F4 rips its wing.
Yeah, that probably is going to be fixed in the future, though. So, oh wait, what was it? Oh wait, there was the one thing about the IS-2 getting a certain round. What is it? Is it the IS-2 is not supposed to get a certain round? Well, I don't know. And let me guess, I've been moved out of the room. You're a fucking dickhead. Fuck you. Fuck you, asshole. This is why I don't trust Discord. Anyway, that has been the stream. So China has interesting vehicles that you can absolutely go check out. You should check out instead of just looking at it. That's when this patch drops. So hopefully their later MBTs will be a lot more interesting, in my opinion. And I think that's it. So that has been me, John, Prequel, a Soviet Cat, and Steel Wolf.
Wait, quick! Before you go, you do kind of need to show the French Panther without those skirts, my dude.
What? We did already.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. I just looked at it once.
What happened?
We
The
looked at
French
the pants.
Panther without its skirts.
Yeah, we just looked at the French Panther without its skirts. It's absolutely.
Look how sexy it looks without them skirts.
It's just lewd as all hell.
It's just a fucking TV.
Yep.
It's just
Anyway.
The fact that you just said that's so lewd makes me want to legitimately stuff an anime chick up your asshole.
All right. So that has been the stream. We'll see you guys on maybe another one as long as the hurricane doesn't bowl over my house.
It should.
Nighty night.
Fingers crossed.